Hello and welcome everyone. Shirley Allred here. I hope you're having a fabulous day because I'm having a fabulous day. I'm so excited to receive the gifts of today. And no matter what happens, there's always a gift. No matter what the situation, circumstances, if we dig deep enough, we will find a positive for any situation that comes into our life. So with that being said, welcome to today's channel. I'm glad you joined in and I'm glad to be here. I hope you find value in what I share. This isn't just my channel, this is our channel. And that's kind of the topic today. Okay, so we can't do everything ourselves. Even though some of us think we can, we really can't. And what I mean by that is for years, okay, because of some things that happened to me, or because of situations, or let's just say because of situations that happened when I was growing up, and some good, some bad. It's all in a perspective. I created this belief that I didn't need help from anybody. Nope. And I thought it served me for many, many years, and it really doesn't. It really doesn't. I noticed that even like grocery shopping, the somebody would say, "Hey, you want to help out with that?" And I'm like, "No, I got it. I got it." Running the construction company, "Hey, you need help with that?" "No, I got it. I'll figure it out. I'll do it." So I've always been very independent, and what I created, the belief I created, is I couldn't count on anybody as a young girl. I had to do it myself, and I did in a lot of ways. Creating that belief, I brought that belief into my later years. And so with the automobile accident that I was in, was the first step in teaching me you can't do everything yourself. And people enjoy helping you when they offer to help you. Appreciate that they want to help you, that they have enough respect for you, that they want to be a part and help you. And so with the accident, I'm not allowed to lift like more than 25 pounds, and I have limitations. And I'd go to the grocery store, and what is it, the 40 pack of water or whatever? Those frickin' things are heavy. And anyway, being up at the cabin, I would get like five cases of them at a time and such. And so, the gentleman or the woman or whatever would say, "Hey, you need help putting that in your car?" And it was so hard for me to say yes. I had to, though. I had to, in order to honor my body. I didn't want to hurt my body more so, because I had just had fusions done, and there were times when I had tried, or I attempted, and I paid the price that night later on, right? So that's with the heavy stuff. So when I moved out here, my neighbor, Rob and Tori's like, "Hey, Rob will help you do this. Rob will help you do that. And I'm like, "He's your husband. Keep him over there. I don't want your husband over here. I'm good. I'm good." Well, he came over. She sent him over, and he was going to help me unload. So he asked me if I needed help unloading something from my truck, and I says, "No, I got it. And he's like, "No, let me help you. That looks pretty heavy." And I'm like, "I'll figure it out, Rob. It's okay. I'll figure it out." And he's like, "No, let me help you." So I said, "Okay." He actually had to talk me into helping me. That was bizarre. Anyway, so I'm like, "Okay." So he takes it and wheels it off my truck onto my deck. And as he does this, it breaks one of my lights on the deck, on the entrance of the deck. And in my head, I'm like, "Oh my, if I would have done it myself, that light wouldn't be broken. And now I got to clean up the mess." And then I step back for a second, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, you're on the spiritual awakening, and you're learning so many things right now. Maybe it's time for you to allow someone to help you." And then I'm a deep thinker. Anyway, so then I continued to think, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh." instead of being grateful that Rob helped me, I was thinking more of the negative, like, oh my God, he just freaking broke my light. Now I'm going to have to pick it up. And now I don't have a match set. I only have one. Um, and when I step back, I'm like, oh my gosh, he did this from the goodness of his heart. He didn't have to come over here and help you. And even though I didn't say this to him, I was irritated. And instead of being grateful. And so I've learned to allow people to help me, and it's just been awesome, I have to say. And just like these YouTube channels and my blog and my website and putting the cabin together and doing all this stuff, you know, there's certain things I can do by myself, and there's and I've hurt myself, I'm sure, a couple times, you know. Not hurt myself, yet that night I'm like, oh shoot, I'm not feeling very good. I'm trying to do everything myself. And so today I sat down and I wrote down, and what I noticed is I used to write things down and then I'd look at the list and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm overwhelmed. I have way too much stuff to do, and I felt like I had to get it all done today. And today I sat down and I wrote the list of what I need help with, you know, and some of them is there's more YouTube channels that I want to start and offer, and they include like meditations. And you guys, I'm still using Windows 7. Yeah, I have to learn Windows 10 by January. And so, and I have a computer that has the Windows 10 on it. I feel overwhelmed trying to figure out Windows 10. And so on my list, I'm like, okay, so either take a class or find someone who can set up your computer like you need it, like you want it, with all your channels and, you know, your website, or not your website, my internet, my internet, and, you know, just things that I use on a daily basis on the Windows 7. And then I felt this overwhelm. I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I'm gonna, it's too much. And then again, I took a step back and I'm looking at it. I'm like, you know, you have the rest of your life. Well, Windows 10, you only have till January. So anyway, other than that, stop stressing yourself out, because what I found is when I felt overwhelmed, I couldn't do things. For instance, my son, he came up and I says, hey bud, can you open this shampoo container? And it was a pump bottle. And he says, sure. So he started to do it. And I says, you know, I've been trying to open that same bottle for 2 years now. And he says, Mom, you just need to relax. And I says, well, I put the secretary's desk together when I first moved out here, and I put the whole thing together and I can't figure out how to put the doors on it. And he says, do you want me to do it for you? And I says, no, I'll figure it out. And he says, just relax before you do it. When the time is right, you'll know how to do it. And I used to do that as well when I had accounting business. You know, sometimes the numbers didn't work out, and so I'd put it aside for a couple hours a day or whatever. I'd change my train of thought, and then I'd go back to it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is piece of cake. This is easy, right? You know. So it all goes back to our state of mind. It all goes back to just relax. Because I know I can put those cabinet fronts on, because I've done it to all my kitchen ones. I've done it to these. So I know I'm capable of doing it. It's just certain triggers that come up at times. Another trigger is, and I'm just sharing this with you, because I know you guys have the same thing that goes on. And so when these triggers come up, just take a deep breath and stand back and maybe walk away from it, or put entertaining music on, something that gets you motivated, something that, or remember a time when you were capable of doing it with no stress, no worries, you know. So it is all a matter of our perception. 6 months ago, somebody hacked me on Facebook, and I had to change. They got into my emails, and excuse me, I had to change all my passwords. And now, every time I think of, oh my gosh, I have to change my password. How am I going to have somebody set up Windows 10 when I these passwords, that's what has stopped me. And yet I'm allowing that to stop myself instead of going, you know what, just take a step back like you used to do. And I needed to learn also to stop blaming it on the car accident. Sure, my memory went to 1%. And I had a brain injury. And honestly, you know, it's kind of been a blessing in a lot of ways, because that accident pushed me on to this journey that I'm on now. And there's a blessing in everything, right? And it's not about being hard on myself. It's about loving and accepting myself and honoring that, you know what? Today you might not be able to open that pump bottle. You might not be able to do the passwords. And the funny thing is I have all my passwords written down. Still feel overwhelmed. Someday here, so shortly. I won't, though. So with that being said, anything that comes to you that you're feeling stressful, or that you can't, you know, you stress yourself out, or I've stressed myself out. It's not worth it. Your body's not worth it. Your body needs to be honored, and you need to be honored. And you know, I started telling myself, and you guys may have heard this from other people or whatever. You know, I look at myself when I'm with my grandkids, and I nurture them. And if they struggle with doing something, I'm right there to help them. Or let's figure this out, bud. Or, you know, and so I started doing that with myself. I started being more gentle with myself. So with that being said, be gentle with yourself today. Every day, in fact. You know, life's too short to worry about the small stuff, right? Anyway, thank you so much for viewing this. And if you found value, like, share, subscribe, hit the bell. And feel free to go to my website, Shirleyallred.com. Go to my blog. And yeah. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited for this journey I'm on, to be honest with you. It's just like, it's pretty cool, actually, and not always fun. Looking back, I kind of laugh at some of the ways I thought, or some of the things that I just couldn't let go of. So anyway, with that being said, love and hugs to each and every one of you, and you have a fabulous day. Take care. See ya. Bye.